paragraph styles. This is where we're going to start making this kind of rough layout start looking a lot more finessed. And if I show you my finished one, you can start seeing the typography is starting to kind of act, have some specificity. It's kind of designed in a way. It has some interest, and it's not Minion Pro. So let's work with the paragraph style just for the body copy right now. So I'm just going to place my cursor, say I'm going to just put it anywhere in here, anywhere within this body copy. Now, obviously there's two ways. We can either just select it all if we want. We can just put our cursor anywhere in it, and that's going to affect it. Now, because we do have some paragraph returns, you might want to just, because paragraph returns kind of separate paragraph styles, I'm just going to actually just select one of the actual paragraphs, and then actually first get my windows open, select one of the paragraph styles or paragraphs, and then just go into the paragraph styles, and then I'm going to hamburger drop down, new paragraph style. I'm going to call this copy, and you can either style it first and then apply the style or make the style after, or I'll show you the other way where we kind of do it within the new paragraph style pop-up window. So I've said anything but Minion Pro, and we're going to make it 9.5 by 11. So you can choose anything you want except Minion Pro. Like I said, I'm kind of partial to Avenir, but whatever font that you have installed that you want to use, I'm going to use a sans serif. Totally up to you what you want to use. If you want to use something that you probably have a system font you have on a PC, it might be something like what would be a common, you can go into Google and you can download some fonts. You can even go onto, there's a Google font. There's another Google font that's a pretty heavy duty font, so I'm not going to use that. But we've gone through downloading fonts and using fonts in this course already. So you figure out which font you want to use. Like I said, I'm going to use Avenir. I'm going to make it 9.5, and I'm going to have that leading as 11 points, because remember we have that baseline grid at 11 points, so we're going to use 11 points to align all of our text to. We're going to make it a left. We're going to make sure that it is left aligned. We're not going to affect that. We're going to have in the indents and spacing align all of the lines. So this is where where we're aligning to the baseline grid. And then I want to show you, uncheck hyphenate. So that is here, hyphenation. Uncheck it. I do not personally like hyphenation when we have left aligned text. I think it looks pretty unprofessional and ugly. And then the next thing I want you guys to be aware of. So apply style to selection. That's the most important, or that's one of the most important. We're going to change within the basic character formats. We're going to change the font. We're going to change the size, and we're going to create 11-point text. If you created a baseline grid that's different than 11 point, this is where you would have the same leading as the baseline you selected in the preferences at the beginning of this exercise. Indents and spacing is we're going to create a left aligned alignment. If you want to have it justified, left justified, you can kind of see the difference here. So that's justified, meaning the text is spanning from one side of the frame to the other fully. If you do justified, don't just do left, do not do fully justified. That creates that full justification, which creates these massive gaps between many of the words, and it's not considered kind of attractive. So if you're going to do justified, keep it left justified. I'm just going to keep it good old left alignment, and then you have that jagged right rag. Now we're going to align to the grid, and then the next thing we're going to do is that we haven't done this yet, and it's quite fun, and it's quite a nice feature, is in this indents and spacings, we're actually going to create some space after, and I've specified that we're going to have a space after of 22 point. So 22 point is based upon 2 spaces or 2 lines, so 11 point leading. If you did a hard return, you'd get a 22 point. So what that means is that when we have a paragraph return, you see the little paragraph return here, it's actually going to create a space, and it's going to create basically like a double space. So instead of having the paragraph, one paragraph end and the next paragraph start right underneath it, if we have 22 point here, that will create and I press OK. Now you create that double space. So instead of just having like we have here, where we have like I said, a paragraph end and another one start, now it's going to create that that extra space between the paragraphs. So there's some nice spacing. So now I'm just going to select all of it and then apply that style just by clicking on copy. And so when I deselect it or just kind of select off of it, you can see that there's probably going to be some that need a little fixing. We're going to have to fix these widows here, that is, or orphans. We're going to probably have to fix some of, yeah, there's some extra spaces here. And then depending on how, how the images are placed and how much, where they are placed, and overset text is still appearing here. So we're still going to have to do some major work to kind of get this all looking beautiful and aligned and perfect. But now, for now, I just wanted to create that paragraph style for the copy. And then I think that's all I want to do for this. Oh no, and then we'll do, let's do a character style in the next video, so we can, I'll do it here. So I'll do it in the next one so you can see how a character style gets applied